So today on Project Shop we have some monster motors. Not the biggest ones we have on the channel, but we got a couple big ones here. Another one in here. I got to dump that out. Bunch of small ones. And then I got some real interesting things. Assuming there's some type of copper heat sink or something or other. I don't know. But they seem pretty heavy. And they were in the bin with the electric motor. So I just threw them in there. See if I can't tear them apart. They're probably glued in. I was wondering if I could heat it up or if I could shear that off of there somehow. Seems like a nice little chunk of copper. And so yeah, what we're going to do is get these up on the table that's an absolute wreck right now. And get them prepped for plasma cutting. And then what I want to do is come over here. First, we're going to have to clean up this mess I made stripping that wire. I want to pull the big motor that's out of that. And we got 4 machines. Five in total. That I want to pull the motors out. Evaluate them. If it's a 220 single phase, we'll keep it. You know, as long as it looks good. We'll keep it for, you know, a spare for the wire stripper. I'm in talks with my boy about getting some parts for the granulator. We're probably just gonna put a new keyway in it. Maybe make a bushing for the blades, and just put that thing back together and run it. I need to get the thing up and running. And also I have another little project that I've been wanting to do. I mean, the projects just never end. That I'm going to wind up needing some motors for. So if we can get some... I'm looking at that plug over there. I'm assuming if it's 220, it's got to be 5 horse. It'd be nice to get a 7 horse. I have... Oh, I forgot. I have a 227 horse motor. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get these motors ready to get put up on the table. And we're just going to start scrapping, man. We need to get some copper in the bucket today. And clean this place up, because it is just a mess. You know, I did get a couple responses in the local thing for getting some help out here. So I just got to screen some people and, you know, see what's going to be the right fit. So I'm hoping to find another young guy, you know, someone that's not into trouble and extracurricular activities that don't jive with what I got going on over here. So today on Project Shop we have some monster motors. Not the biggest ones we have on the channel, but we got a couple big ones here. Another one in here. I got to dump that out. Bunch of small ones. And then I got some real interesting things. Assuming there's some type of copper heat sink or something or other. I don't know. But they seem pretty heavy. And they were in the bin with the electric motor. So I just threw them in there. See if I can't tear them apart. They're probably glued in. I was wondering if I could heat it up or if I could shear that off of there somehow. Seems like a nice little chunk of copper. And so yeah, what we're going to do is get these up on the table that's an absolute wreck right now. And get them prepped for plasma cutting. And then what I want to do is come over here. First, we're going to have to clean up this mess I made stripping that wire. I want to pull the big motor that's out of that. And we got 4 machines. 5 in total. That I want to pull the motors out. Evaluate them. If it's a 220 single phase, we'll keep it. You know, as long as it looks good. We'll keep it for, you know, a spare for the wire stripper. I'm in talks with my boy about getting some parts for the granulator. We're probably just gonna put a new keyway in it, maybe make a bushing for the blades, and just put that thing back together and run it. I need to get the thing up and running. And also I have another little project that I've been wanting to do. I mean, the projects just never end. That I'm gonna wind up needing some motors for. So if we can get some, I'm looking at that plug over there. I'm assuming if it's 220, it's got to be 5 horse. It'd be nice to get a 7 horse. I have, oh, I forgot. I have a 227 horse motor. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get these motors ready to get put up on the table, and we're just going to start scrapping, man. We need to get some copper in the bucket today, and clean this place up because it is just a mess. You know, I did get a couple responses in the local thing for getting some help out here, so I just got to screen some people and you know, see what's going to be the right fit. So I'm hoping to find another young guy, you know, someone that's not into trouble and extracurricular activities that don't jive with what I got going on over here. Okay, here we go. We are much more organized. I mean, not much more organized, but a little bit better than we were earlier. Cleaned up, and I can actually work. Sometimes, man, you just got to stop, sort your tools, clean up the mess, and it kind of makes me work a little bit better. Now, I did go to Harbor Freight the other night because I needed a new one of these, and I mean, it's not the greatest thing to do, but I'll probably put the old one back on here and bring this back because it is lifetime warranty. And here's the deal, the one I got was from Harbor Freight, and it's not a bad thing. You know, some people are like, oh, that's not right, and that's what my wife said to me when I told her I was going to do that. Here's the deal, I already bought this kit. I don't know where the other ones are, so there's nothing wrong with me taking that back and getting a new one, the broken one, because that's basically what I'd be doing, except for I don't have this anymore. So maybe I'll just go find the other ones and bring it back. And anyway, I also bought a new set of metric and standard small 1/4 inch drive bits because I'm missing like one on each one, and they're just getting worn out. They've probably been about 3 years now. If I wasn't missing them, I would just change them back in on the lifetime warranty and get a new one, but I am missing one. But this is like the 3rd set I bought, so what I'm thinking is I'll probably be able to make one good set out of the 2 other ones where I've lost one here, lost one there, and then return that. And that's just, you know, what happens with scrapping. My wife's like, oh, why you get the colored ones? For me, I like the colored ones because when you're scrapping, you're more likely to see those than just chrome ones. Anyway, we got some new bits here so we can get some work done. Now we're going to load some motors up on the table and get the plasma cutter out and just get to work. All right, man, we got a nice little chunk of motors here, a couple big boys. And someone in the comments on that short was just like wondering who would use such a big motor for a fan. And I mean, that is kind of a big motor. 3-phase. It's only 3 horsepower? No way. Wow. I guess it's not such a big motor. But this one here comes with lots. Look at all these things, man. We're going to keep all of them. Got another big one there. So, hopefully being that that's 3-phase, that thing should be full of copper. I got to raise the press up. And hopefully we're not going to be into our stretched out hole here. I think what I might have to do is actually cut that all the way through, bend that back. I don't know if I'll be able to shrink that metal, and then probably weld a plate on there or something. My buddy has a mag drill he wants to sell me, so I think rather than try and reinforce this like I was gonna do, I think I'm just gonna move this and dedicate this to another operation. Probably basically replace that press right there, because that one is almost obsolete at this point. What I'm doing with that press I can do at this press, and I don't even use that one that much to justify having a whole side of the table taken up for transformers, when it might be weeks before I get a couple trickling in here, you know. So that being said, we're going to raise this up. We're going to use the actual thing here, and show you how I do this. Get enough stroke out of this. Of course not. All right, that's not too bad, but there's always room for improvement. And we gotta thank Bob for gifting this pump. Oh, I gotta call that guy. He called me the other day, and every time I tried to call him back, I got distracted and my wife called. All right, let's see if we can't get this motor off of here. My new adapter. I need to find my impact sockets, because I know this isn't the right thing. I don't think this is going to work. Oh. Gotta give me a better set of pullers. Oh, there we go. Oh. Ran out of stroke. Now, unfortunately, this square plate, it's got really nice bearings, and Someone tried to cut that and just couldn't, I guess they couldn't cut it. They gave up. So, that's a nice little thing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep that. I like that. This needs to go for secondary processing. Either we're gonna grind these off or use the plasma cutter. We'll throw this over there for now. All right, let's see about getting these things off of here. Well, this one's a little tweak or something. Okay. I wonder why this has so many freaking eyelets. Does this have a working load limit? 230 kilograms. So what's that? 230, 2 pounds, 2 ounces, something like that. So 470, 480. Something around there. One day I'll go through all my goodie buckets because they keep adding up. And then I'll have all the goodies. I don't know where they are right now. Man, this little thing is heavy. So many. Uh-oh. This one, the whole thing is coming with it. We'll take it. Okay. Let's see what we got. Looks like we got metric. Oh no. And it's the 13 millimeter that I cracked. Which is why I need to find my impact sockets. We'll see if it'll do the job. Yeah, okay. Still doing something. I can straighten that out a little bit. Huh. It's loaded with green stuff. Oh. I guess it would help if we took all the bolts out. Duh. Cast. That is a really nice bearing. I don't know if I'll be able to get that one. Gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with all these bearings, man. This is made in Brazil. Okay. Might as well pull this one. Oh. I thought it looked like it got cooked. I think it's just stuff on there. Very nice. Okay. More for the irony pile. Let's start an irony bucket. Okay. That's that. What else we got here? All right. That is ready for the cracker. I absolutely love cracking these things, man. Okay. Let's see. That back. I gotta get better organized, man. Oh. Since we got our things out, we might as well pull this pulley. Anytime I see these adjustable pulleys, I try to recover them. You know, just like anything in this world right now, everything is so expensive. You know, I try my best to recover as much usable stuff as possible. Even if I don't use it, maybe someone else can, you know, help my neighbor out or someone. Oh, I think he's bottoming out. I need to get a new set. Man, we get all kinds of goodies today. Save that key. I needed a key the other day for my wire stripper because I thought I lost one, which eventually I found it. But I went into my bucket of keys that I recovered and found the right one and was able to keep on working, man. Or put the wire stripper back together at least. Okay. This is all going to be heavy steel. Man, I can't believe the price of steel dropped. It's been holding for a while. Copper's up and holding. And steel drops, out of all things. And steel was at that price for a long time, man. Okay. Moving on. Sometimes they have a weight on these things. I don't know. But let's start with this. Aha! Haha! We broke it off. Okay. No problem. Now this one, this thing is so banged up in the back, I can't turn that shaft. Let's see if we can't get this thing off real quick. The paint. The paint. Oh, I can't get to that one. Have to get a wrench on that other stuff. See, this is where I have a set of those quick wrenches. I need to go find them because when you're scrapping, man, you can't be messing around. You got to get this stuff done. And they're not cheap. I think I have 2 sets of them, actually. I got to find them and get them out here, because that's what I need to be using. Oh man, this thing is heavy. I keep moving it around. It keeps getting further and further off the table. I should have weighed this. I think everything was like 1,300 pounds or something of motors. And that sucks that the price went down, because literally the most of weight here is the casing and the core and the rotor. $0.01 doesn't seem like much, but that's money that's not in my pocket. Okay. Oh, it's got good bearings in it too. Well, since we're here, we might as well. What is that? Or the air hammer, but I'm thinking of a chipping hammer. I got a big Hitachi, I gotta find it. Japan. That's a good one, huh? Okay. Coming apart pretty easy. So here's what I'm thinking. In the future, I got to get some type of gantry up here with these big ones for sure, because just moving this around, if I had this eyelet still here and a chain on it, I could just be picking it up and maneuvering it around without fighting it. So we got to up our game for our big boy motors. I really need to change them all out to what do you call it? That has a, I'm glad I pulled that out and then try to get this one off first. That has a snap ring in there holding that on, so that's not coming out. Oh, you know what? That's for the bearing. That might come out. That still might come out. Hold on. Did we get that to come off? There's a snap ring. That's a really nice bearing. I'll try to get it out. Oh, look at all that copper. All right, we're gonna I'm gonna get a snap ring plier, get that out of there, or at least see if I can't get it out of there. I'm not gonna waste too much time with it, and then we're gonna get right on liberating all this stuff with the plasma cutter and a grinder. We need to step this up to a faster way to get these apart, because grinding the screws, each one is just not it, man. I mean, unscrewing them is the ultimate, but not all of them are going to do that. I'm wondering if, see, the problem with using like the plasma cutter or the torch is I need those bolts to come out of there. And if they don't, what's going to happen if they don't? Oh, we're not going to be able to separate our aluminum, you know? So, and what I've decided is I have a bandsaw in there. I need to get a bandsaw out here to help liberate this stuff. Like this stuff here, I shouldn't be wasting time with it. I should just have a bandsaw to chop those off. I have that big one. It's a horizontal. I might actually set that thing up. That's a little big and overkill, but it'll do the job. And it's got a vise. I can probably clamp these in. I need to clean cut these off so I can get them out of the aluminum. I'm hungry. My wife just got back, so I'm gonna go get some lunch, and we're gonna come back and split some motors. All right, so that was kind of tedious. A lot of the screws were bent over. I was able to get maybe half or more to just unscrew. The problem is I couldn't find the right size wrench on the back side. Probably an 8mm would have been the one that I needed. Unfortunately, I don't have an 8. So I'm sitting here thinking about, you know, I'm always thinking how to make this faster, and eventually, after I pour some concrete over there, these two machines, tables, I guess you can call them, machines, whatever, are going to get merged together, and I'm going to have to come up with a way of having a flow. I think unfortunately what I'm going to have to do temporarily is take this 10-foot section off and drop it on there, and the only good thing about that is I'm going to gain another table, because underneath this plate is a 3x7 table with a lip all the way around, and it's tapered down to the bottom where there's a drain right here, which will be absolutely perfect for prepping AC compressors. You know, I can dump a lot on there and then drill them and let them drain and whatnot, and then kind of move it on. So what I was doing here is I was almost working twice, because I'm like cutting them, prepping them, whatever, and then moving them and then handling them again. I need them just to flow down the table from station to station to station. You know, I need to figure out how I can set this up to where I can dump them on the table, and wait till you see what I was thinking about to do that. I have something in the works here. I just got to figure out how it's all gonna come together. I already have all the pieces except for two small things to make it work. It's going to make handling this stuff so much easier. Anyway, I need to dump them so that I can grab one and either unscrew it or grind it like right away. If you know, you figure out you can't do whatever, and it just needs to keep moving that way. It just needs to move on. If you can't unscrew it, it needs to move to the next station, which I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to incorporate a bandsaw, a big bandsaw with a metal cutting blade into the table, where I have a V on it, something like a slide, okay, that I can slide the stuff into. Transformers, coils, I think for these small ones, the ones that I don't want to split, I'm thinking I run it into a bandsaw, you know. I don't know, I really got to think about that, but I think a bandsaw would be great for like those things and stuff like that. All you know, an air chisel would be great for that as well. And we're gonna have to figure that out, because I actually have a really cool I have a spare like lathe chuck that I can put down for these things to sit on, clamp them from the inside. Either, I don't want to grind, I want to try to get away from grinding as much as possible. So also another thing, having a lip on the table, I'm actually missing the lip I had here because everything keeps rolling off, and especially these round things, having a lip there is huge. And also, let me show you this. I was using the lip to hold the edge of this on there so that I can smack these off. Now, I don't know what most yards would consider this. I know most yards will probably give you a lot of crap, because there is, some of these do have a little metal insert. We're just gonna say that's 3%. We get a bunch of cast. That's the prepared steel we got so far. And then a bunch of irony aluminum. So now it sucks the price of steel went down. I'm gonna have to talk to them guys, or have to find another yard or something. I would like to talk to these people over here closer, because then I don't have to haul the steel as far, but I doubt they're gonna pay. You know, they'll probably scrutinize this stuff, because I get prepared. I sold that as prepared the other day, even though technically it is a sheet, but it's small, clean. You don't have to really run it through a shredder. So I don't know. Anyway, let's get the plasma cutter set up, and then get some of these liberated. Every time I put these on at nighttime, I think about that song from like the 80s or something, about wearing sunglasses at night. Pretty sure that song was about drugs though. Let's get the plasma cut in. Yeah, these little ones here, most likely I'm going to cut one side. No need to try to split that. So, I want to show you what I'm looking for. Most of you guys probably already know this. There's going to be some flat spots in here, or some grooves, right? Especially with the plasma cutter, you got to have somewhere for that slag to go. And the flat spots are the best way. Now, some of them, like this one, didn't really have anything. It's just round. So I found the best thing to do is just hold that thing on an angle real hard, you know, and let it blast away. This thing seems like it's doing pretty good. This is the same tip I did all them other ones with. So it seems to be lasting. Even with a grinder, it's better if you find a gap and cut, because the further you can get that grinder down, the easier it's going to cut that. And you can kind of feel it penetrate through. You don't want to be cutting into this, wasting up your grinding blades, you know? Okay, let's keep moving. Now, alright, we're going to attempt to plasma cut these screws off. I don't think this is a good idea, but all right, we got the shield up. We're about to break out the cracker. See if we can't crack these cast iron motors here. This is my favorite way of doing it. Loose in there, but let's give it a bottom crack. Man, that's what I'm talking about. All right, man, I gotta get a better setup for my shield. But that is a nice nugget right there. Yeah, oh man. Yeah, we definitely putting some work on that plate over there. Okay, let me I was using this as a spacer just to keep it from rolling. Wow. All right. Some beautiful nuggets of copper there. This definitely looks tough. Definitely splitting is going to be the way to go. I don't know why I've been coming across these things. The blade seems to cut right through it, so we're not really going to worry about it. I'm going to clean up that dirt. I hate working on dirt. Put the splitter in, and then we're going to start splitting. All right, here we go. I got this thing all set up. Got the jack under there. I got this thing pushed up to the top because for those of you who don't know, this press originally used to sit on the floor and had angle iron bolted to this. Well, I bolted the carriage, which normally moves up and down, to the table, and then the legs actually move up and down, and the carriage is stationary. A little bit backwards, but for what I'm doing, this is the way I needed to have it. So I have a level deck, basically. Anyway, we are literally a couple inches from what we need. I don't want to really move this up to the next level because that's the stretched eye. I've been trying to avoid that as much as possible. And the rest of these I'm going to be able to split at this height right here. So we're going to see if I can't just penetrate that into there a little bit and get it started. Once I get it started, we should have no problem if I can get it in there. Oh, not good. Let's try that. Wow, that was tough, not gonna lie. See if I can't get that to come down. Okay. Yeah, we got off a couple on that one, but it split it. You can tell where that first penetration was, man. It was not liking it. These things here are actually holding this together pretty tight to where it's not letting it want to like expand open. The blade is absolutely cutting right through that like it's nothing. So I'm not really worried about that. Now we're gonna load up the next one, just keep on splitting. Dang. That one there will almost penetrate all the way through. I broke my V. See if we can't just set these in there. Oh, we got it. See, with the proper stroke, even that small blade will be able to split a decent sized stator, you know? So we need to up our stroke game. And I'll tell you what, man, I really need to put a pressure gauge on this. I guess I could put a T and get a 10,000 psi pressure gauge. I need to see how much pressure we're putting on stuff, because that took a lot, man. This thing kicks into low gear and it makes me nervous, you know, but I mean, it is what it is. Okay, let's see if we can't get this split. Yeah, I gotta get all this fixed. Ah, that's what I'm talking about. Dang. Half that's aluminum, half that's copper. Well, that blows. Okay, see what else. yeah, perfect. Okay. That one was a little messy, but it's doing the job. So basically, we need to be able to fine tune the height of this, because every 6 inches here makes me have to do weird spacing here to get the full stroke out of this ram. Now someone did said I should just drill some more holes in here, but that is a solution. We need a proper solution. One, I need this thing to stop moving around. This, I mean, it's jacked up right now, so it's kind of tight, but it still does a lot of stuff. But if you've seen that, splitting that in one stroke and those all in one stroke, man, that's the way this thing's supposed to roll. I gotta go get some dinner, man. I'm hungry. That's probably gonna be it for this video. I may or may not come back out here tonight. I don't know, probably. But you'll have to wait and see in the next video what we actually pull out of this, and if we're actually going to clear the table. I mean, there's a lot of copper sitting back there and over there. Oh yeah, I got to figure out, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to do some experimenting with my air chisel. If I can get it working, I'll try it. If not, I'm not opposed to putting the grinder, putting those on the tire machine and trying my grinder, see if that works. You know, my big 7-inch. Oh, I put oh man, that was sketchy. These little grinders must spin really freaking fast, because I stuck this on here, which if you can see looks real sketchy, and it was. This thing was spinning so fast I wound up cutting a couple things and having to take it off. It was like just had me, if it breaks off right here, that thing's gonna hurt something, and I don't want it to be me. So we had to dial back that a little bit, you know, because you know we're all about safety over here. We don't want to do something that might get me or someone hurt. But I will put that back on the big 7-inch grinder, and we will put those in the tire machine if I can. Because I don't know if that'll actually clamp small enough to hold them. Huh, that's a good question. I don't know, we'll have to see. But either way, we're gonna cut it. It would be nice to have it spinning. I put that grinder in there and just let it do its thing. I don't like grinding, but I don't have a nice air chisel like Steve had. I think the copper catcher actually has one like Steve, a snap-on. Same deal. Those things thump, man. They hit hard. So we gotta step up our air chisel game over here, and our everything game. Everything needs upgrades. You know, we need to ramp up production, because we gotta split this stuff so much faster, man. A dedicated splitting station is something that I'm in the works of, because whereas this is nice doing it all, okay, it's the flow is not there, because it's things are coming in, they're coming out, then they're coming back in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to put them here to split, throw them over here, do all my splitting, change out the jigs, then back moving them again, pulling it. They need to just roll in one direction. They come in here, they go out the back door or the back end of the machine, whatever. That machine, that stuff over there is going to get kind of revamped. That machine right there is most likely going to be set up for straight up pulling. We need a dedicated station for pulling. I need a dedicated station for splitting with a bigger blade. We're going to use that blade. We're going to, you know, we're going to have it so that we can put that blade and a bigger blade in. For all these right here, that blade is fine. That blade is plenty big enough. It's plenty wide enough to split that, right? And plenty deep enough. So for all the little blades, that thing, I can have this for a while. I'll just keep sharpening it, you know. But I'm going to make one like I did for Romatic, and then I'll use my own blade, because if I do chip it or break it or whatever, it's not as detrimental as a $500 blade. And we'll figure out how to harden the edge. I was talking to Steve about this. He was talking about welding hard face on it, you know. Like what I would do is get my plate, my 1/2 inch thick plate that I'm going to use, and then I would just run a bunch of bead down the thickened edge, down the edge. Just put a whole bunch of hard facing bead on there. He said he used to use a bunch of rods, special rods, when he would welds on buckets to keep it from wearing. You know, it was like a hard rod or something. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. But I would basically weld it on there, get it on there good, you know, get it in there, good penetration, let it cool, do its thing. Then I would cut it down. Then I would put it on the mill and mill the blade down, which I'm hoping the week after Christmas, when the scrap yards close, I'm just going to focus on cleaning the shop, getting the concrete poured in here. I need that milling machine set up for a bunch of different things, and one of them is making my own blade. I need to be able to put a big fly cutter on there and sweep across that thing. So yeah, anyway, come this far, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, because we're gonna come back out here probably tonight, maybe, and pull some copper, put some copper in the bucket. And then we got so much to do. I really want to get on the machines over there. And yeah, we might just spend another day here scrapping. I think that's going to be it. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Dancing. You ever seen your copper dancing before?